What's up, guys? I'm back in the studio today, and you know what that means? Brand new product day. I know you guys love to see me here. I love to be here because I love to talk about new stuff. Brand new today, we have an all new adventure from REEFS RC, something we've never done before. A side of the RC we haven't gotten into, but we've wanted to for a long time. And today I'm going to talk about it. I've been running them. The guys have been running them. They've been performing amazing. It's a great new addition to our product line. And I think you guys are really going to love this. And you're thinking, let's go. Show me what it is. And it is the brand new REEFS RC 90mm aluminum shocks. Guys, look at this. 2 shocks to a kit. Obviously, you're going to want 4. Perfectly set up in here. I mean, the packaging is incredible. But I'm going to throw up a couple pictures and go over a couple details of what these shocks have to offer. So that way I don't forget anything. And I know you guys are getting all the info from me right here. So started off, we have a key injection molded upper shock cap end. So what that means is the upper shock cap actually keys into the aluminum shock cap. We obviously have the Shield logo in there. You guys know we're getting the Shield logo. Come on, it's REEFS RC. Shield logo's everywhere. We have an aluminum black anodized shock body, a 3mm hardened dual chrome threaded shock shaft, black coated 32mm by 10mm springs, and for the first time ever done, we have a threaded aluminum spring cup with 4mm of preload adjustment. So what that means is you can go through and adjust your preload on the bottom of your shocks. And guys, what are we talking about? How awesome is that? So on the lower shock cap, it's going to allow you to adjust those preload up or down as you see fit based on your crawling needs. Also, we have a 3-slot shock piston. We have X-style O-rings, and the shock piston has a nut. No more of these E-clips flopping around on your workbench, bing, going across the world. We ain't messing around with E-clips here. We have a locking nut on top of the piston to hold that piston in place. It is amazing. We have a 7mm wide by 3 ID stainless steel pivot balls. And like I said, the key injected upper shock rod end goes right into this here. Look how great that all looks. You got your O-ring, keys in, bolts in, no reason for it to come loose. It allows you to get the logo of the Shield. You guys know you love the Shield. Obviously, we're coming out with soft, medium, and springs. Extra springs coming out because you guys know you're going to want different springs based on your crawling needs, based on how heavy your truck is. I am so excited for these to finally hit the market. But guys, let me show you an up-close look at these shocks. So look at this thing. Let me get it up in frame. So obviously, you have the logo there. You can see the key molded body here, aluminum here, and then you have the awesome preload. Guys, look. Let's see how close I get. Look at that. In, out, in, out. It is incredible. Wyatt knocked this design out of the park. The X spring or X seals in here do not leak at all. I've been running these things for about 8 months, changing fluid, gone through dirt, gone through sand, no leaking whatsoever. All you get is a smooth shock, and I am so excited to see. As you can see right here, I got the shock spinning. It's going through it. It's looking amazing. And I'm excited to show you. So what I thought I would do today is I'm going to go through and actually install a set of these on our Axial SCX10 Pro and show you guys how to fill the fluid up, how to put them on your truck in case you're curious. Obviously, I'm not a shock expert. I'm not a shock genius. I'm going to show you how I fill the fluid up. If you like to do it a different way, post it in the comments below. I'm always here to learn. And then that way we can teach everybody we go along. But let me get the truck. Let's get these installed. Alrighty, guys. I have my SCX10 Pro on the bench, and I'm going to go ahead and put 4 shocks on it. So let's go here. See if you can get a better view of what I got going on. Let's go that way. So obviously, shocks here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is remove the shock cap. You guys get to see it firsthand. Look at that O-ring. Look at that thing. Big old thick O-ring. Obviously, the shocks do not have oil from the factory. You can choose what oil weight you want based on your crawler. We are going to be using the Pitbull 15 weight oil in these bad boys. So what you're going to want to do is just put a little bit, I should do this where you can see it. Let's see if I can do it where I can see it and you can see it. You want to put enough oil in where you get it so there's no air leakage out. You don't want to put too much in where it's going to compress the piston too much and push it into the negative cavity there. So let's see if that much is enough. Go ahead and thread that shock cap back on. sure it's nice and tight, and then go through nice and smooth. So what you want to do is kind of want to put it up to your ear and make sure you don't hear too much cavitation. So you don't want so much air in this area up here where it's pushing the piston through the fluid, and then you'll get a difference in reaction. But I can tell you I don't have that and it's not seeing it. You can also pull your spring all the way up, compress it, and then you can build your shocks however you want them. So if you want a ton of rebound, like here, you can see I pretty much have a dead shock. So that's what I like on the front end. That's what Reef likes on the front ends of his truck. That's why I'm building them this way. So you can see here, the shock is not rebounding at all. It's completely dead. So if you want, let's say 10%, 20%, 30% rebound, you would just take the shock cap off and put a little more oil in there, and that will provide you with a little bit of rebound. So for this case, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. And the goal ideally is to get the same consistency across both shocks. It's very difficult to do. I think J Concepts maybe, or there's another company out there that makes an actual kit where you put both shock ends here and then on the bottom, then you squish them and then you see how much rebound you have. So here we go. We can listen to it. Not hearing any cavitation. I'm going to pull it up. So I have the spring. Most of the times when I do this at home, I'll actually take the whole lower rod end off, take the spring off, and then I have a more accurate result. Here for time, I'm just going to do it this way. And you can see also have a dead spring. So I'm going to put these on the front. I'm going to take the rear shocks. I'm going to use the same weight oil. You can use different oil. You can use thicker, thinner, whatever you want. They're your shocks. You bought them. You can do whatever you want with them. But this is what I am doing for this truck. And I'm going to try just to put a little bit more oil in there and see if I can get a better shock rebound. So I'm just going through, cycling the shock, bleeding a little bit of the air out. Obviously, there's going to be some air in there because it's not a bladder style shock, but if I can get out most of it, let's see what we get here. So tightening back in, going through, feels nice and smooth. We'll go ahead and bring this up. Come on, work with me. See, so you see you're getting a little bit of rebound there. So see, I push it all the way up and I probably have 5% rebound. It's really hard to see. So I'm going to go in and add like 2 to 3 more drops just because I'd like a tad bit more rebound in the rear of this truck. Let's go 1, 2, 3. It's a precise 3 drops, guys. Like that's what we're doing here. We're all about precision. For those of you that know me personally, know why that's a joke, because I'm a big just like, put it together. And now look at, so now we're at about 10% rebound there. We're getting a little more rebound than we were previously. Now what I'm gonna do is try to make a mental reference of how much rebound I have, because once I put the shock in, it's gonna do that. So that way I can match the other side in the rear. The worst thing to do is have them be opposite in your corners, because then it's not gonna react the same on the rocks. And that makes it difficult to crawl. So let's say 1, 2, 3. That's the same 3. I'm going to go ahead again. We're going to cycle it through and make sure we got out as many of those air bubbles trapped under the piston as possible. We're going to go ahead and tighten this bad boy down. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, that's feeling like I'm going to need a little bit more. Let's see if my feels are in it. So that is, I think it's pretty close. You guys even see that? Let's see, we're right there. Yeah, between the lower shock and that, we got about a fingernail. We could go get some calipers and get this finally tiled in, but let's be honest. The boss doesn't even crawl this rig. He doesn't know. Pace this out. Yeah, I think this just needs like one more. I mean, you guys know this is probably the most attention I've put to shock building in my entire life. Normally I'm just like, it's enough oil. Let's run them. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is just take off your stock shocks and put these on. So we're gonna start with the front here. My trusty MIP tools makes everything a breeze. Should have brought in the gun. Boom, boom. I'm gonna save this here. I'll go to the bottom, pick this one out. Guys, I'm so excited for these shocks to hit the market. I really think the community is going to love them. They're a good shock at a great price point. They don't leak, which is probably the biggest problem with shocks. And I think everybody's going to really appreciate them. So I'm going to put these in here, put this in here, see if I can get that lower rod end in without flipping it upside down. Do I have the skills? Does not look like I do. All right. Do a little flippy flop, put this on the bottom. That way, hopefully I can get the rod end in. And just barely put that in. You guys can kind of see that. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Rocco's freaking out downstairs. And come on, baby. Come on, right there. Go to your home. There we go. A little struggle bus. Burnt, 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 burnt. Those of you that are unaware, these are our REEFS XP brass knuckles, portal covers, and C-hubs for the Axial SCX10 Pro. If you haven't picked yourself up a set, pick yourself up a set. It actually increases your steering from the stock setup quite significantly. And I don't know anybody in this world who doesn't want more steering. You guys would be crazy not to want more steering. I mean, who doesn't love steering? We're on the 800 LP Raw in the brass edition in this bad boy. Great option for you guys wanting a little weight down front, but also wanting a low pro servo. Let's see if I get this one in with less of a struggle. My hand is already cramping, so this should be fun. Get in there. It is. See, guys, the first one's a struggle. It's early. It's my first build of the day. But, I mean, like, look. Like, you're not getting that with a stock SCX10 Pro. Like, this is only with the REEFS XP setup. Go ahead and tighten these bad boys back down. If you're going to do it this way, when you flip the axle over, you want to make sure you hold the axle to the car. Otherwise, it'll droop out and you'll lose your drive shaft. And nobody wants to do that. So, now I'm going to take this. And I'm going to, who remembers where it was? I'm going to take a guess, put it right in there. And then, yeah, boop. Got my nut in here. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down, and then we'll get these on the truck. Obviously, guys, that is a quick install video. Who sees the other bolts? Oh, it's so, guys, it's so on the shock. I need to go get myself an energy drink, get myself a little G Fuel and wake up here. But let's take this off. This comes off. That goes off. That on a different truck. Who can tell my error here? So this is not an error. I was gonna call it an error, but this is actually a technical mistake. So I'm gonna just show you guys the options in case you guys were unaware. You can install your shocks this way, ideal way, the way I like to install them. Or if you wanted to be crazy, you could install them upside down. They will also work this way. I don't recommend this. I don't like this. I made this by mistake, but you could do it this way if you wanted to. But overall, that is an install video. I don't want to bore you guys too much with me tightening bolts and loosening bolts and fixing my mistakes. But these are the brand new 90mm shocks from REEFS XP. Showed you putting oil in them. If you have any questions about the shocks, any questions about anything, please comment down below. I like to read you guys' comments. I try to reply to many as I can. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.